Hey listeners, welcome back to the Jerkful Dialogue podcast where we chat about all things horror. I'm Elise. Of course, today with me I have my wonderful co-host, Kristen.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good. I'm hanging out. How are you?
Living the dream, baby. I'm here.
Thank you, best friends.
Yeah.
Well, we have something fun today, something different. We had a request from, I think, a listener, right? Give us the deets on all of that, Kristen.
A listener very near and dear to my heart requested that we covered the worst, the most insane horror movie called Troll 2 from 1990. So we're really going back.
Yeah, because there's two Troll 2s. Like when I was looking it up, when you're like, oh, we got this listener request, I'm like, okay. There's like a 2000s one, like a pretty recent. So we're talking about the 1990 version.
Yes, we are. And this movie, you can watch it on YouTube for free. That's how good it is.
I watched it on Tubi, so exactly. I mean, sorry, Tubi, I'm not trying to put you down like that. Tubi has some great hits and some not so great hits.
You know, it do be like that. So yeah, this movie, it has some very notable acting because two of the actors in this were dentists that had no acting experience. They were like, oh, you want to be in the movie? Cool. So Grandpa Seth, it was a dentist IRL. And I think Father Waits was a dentist IRL.
Wow. So wait, so before we even, okay, how did these people end up in the film? Like, were they filming in a town and like, were they filmed or were there dentists hanging around or something? They're like, we're short actors. Did you find out why they're...
So this movie is really interesting to me because it was written and directed by Italians, my people. So director is Claudio Fragasso and the writer is Rossella Drudi. And so basically they were like, we want to make this movie. So they were like, United States, yeah, you know. So they come over here and they're just like, who wants to be in the movie? And that's what happened.
Wow.
They're like, you're going to be in the movie. And the dialogue is so bad because the whole script was written in Italiano and it was translated word for word to English. You know, and sometimes, you know, when you do a translate and you don't really fix the verbiage or whatever, they would not let anybody edit the transcript. So that's why it's also very like, what do you mean I cannot, you know, shit like that. So it's wild.
Yeah, you and a lot of things get lost in translation. I mean, I know there's a lot of great Italian horror films where we have like the whole genre giallo movies, and a lot of those are dubbed. And when there's times even when they're watching those, and even though they've paid for somebody to like professionally, you know, translate and to dub these, there's even a few times where you're like, huh? And I'm like, okay, that just must be something that I'm not getting. As somebody who is a Spanish speaker, I'm not a fluent Spanish speaker, but I understand it in what I call like más o menos, like more or less. Like I can understand like probably 90% of what I hear. So I love when I watch horror films in Spanish, I put the subtitles on, even though I'm understanding it, but I get to like get the deeper appreciation. And there's times where even me and Paul watched it, we're like, that wasn't a good translation. But we're like, there was no other way to translate it. Like once we start thinking our way through, we're like, well, that was probably the only way they could. So I could see why that totally makes sense.
Yeah. And I'm very much like you with Italian where I can understand a lot of it and I can speak some.
I can speak some too, yeah.
But yeah, so I would have loved to watch this in Italian. I wonder if it would have like hit differently. I don't know. So yeah, and you know, out of all places to film this, they went to Utah.
I mean, it's like, well, wait, it's like the opposite, right? Didn't we went through an era we call them spaghetti westerns, where movies went from the States to Italy because it was cheaper to film. Like now we go to New Zealand and they go to Canada or even certain states.
Right.
So this is like reversed. So like we're gonna go to America, but it's not like it was the trend. I don't know. This is odd.
I know. And it's not LA and it's not New York or Chicago. Utah. We're going to just Utah. And it's like Morgan, this town called Morgan, Utah. Not even like SLC or something.
Yeah, not even like the major city. I don't know about the cultural makeup of Utah, but I would assume it's not in a large part. Like you said, it's not Chicago, it's not LA. We're stereotyping.
Right.
It's not Jersey, where you're from. It's not New York.
Right.
Yeah, that's hilarious. It must have been cheaper to film there than in LA or any of these other cities we make.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So yeah, this movie is freaking wild. Would you like to share a synopsis with our audience?
Yeah,
since I've been babbling.
No, it's all good. We were going to get there. This is exactly a tangent-filled episode, I feel like.
It is.
All right. Troll 2, 1990. It's called classic horror comedy about the Witts family. They're vacationing in the town of Nilbog, which, spoiler, is goblins spelled backwards. They are targeted by vegetarian goblins who turn humans into plant matter to consume them. A plot revealed to young Joshua by his deceased grandfather's ghost. Shout out to Grandpa Seth. The family must survive the town's inhabitants who try to feed them toxic green sludge.
Dun, dun, dun.
Sludge. I don't know what they call it.
Like, it was just pouring out of them. I'm like, at first I was like, is that supposed to be blood? Like, what is happening here?
Sappy looking. I don't.
Right. So I have to say, I really feel like they were hating on, like the parents were hating on Grandpa Seth so much. They're like, well, he's been dead for 6 months. Why do you want to talk to your grandpa? Why? Like, why are you being so mean to Grandpa Seth? He's just trying to help y'all.
They're already hating on him before Grandpa showed back up, but I ain't gonna lie, Grandpa was kind of sus. I guess when you were a ghost, like,
you thought
Grandpa was not the most reliable person hanging out in the mirror and on the mirror. I was like, Grandpa, I should have hated. Sorry to all the ghosts out there. I don't know the professional way to be a ghost and he wasn't, I guess, haunting his family. He was trying to save them, but yeah, it was weird that they were hating on him. But I was like, I don't know, Grandpa gave me the creeps.
Well,
he gave Princess Bride vibes, right? The movie opened with I was like, oh, this is like a Princess Bride ripoff. Which what you're doing?
Didn't he look like Carrie Ills? What's his name? Ilwis?
The main dude.
Yeah, I have ADHD. I'm sorry, I don't remember anything.
87. No, you're right. 87 is when Princess Bride came out. So then, yeah, maybe it was the whole Ben Savage. Was it Ben Savage sitting there getting read a fairy tale by his grandpa?
Yeah. So they're hating on their dead relative. They're like, what the fuck? And they're just being like hating on Joshua. I feel like the dad was more creepy than Grandpa Seth. That's my opinion. That dad, he creeps me out.
The mom had something weird going on too. She was always like this with her eyes. Like if you could see me, her eyes were like, I don't know. And I was just like, dude, close your eyes, bitch. Like your eyes are wide open. I was like, Mom, close your eyes.
Do you think anybody involved, like the cast, the crew, do they realize like what kind of movie they were in? Like, do they understand what was happening? I got the vibe where they were like, what?
I think it makes sense going back to when you told us in the opening how the script was translated. I don't know if you're mixing up my words. So maybe that threw off, because I swear there was never a long dialogue in this, right? There was nobody that had this long where it was lines and lines. It was one or a few lines at a time. And it always felt like somebody was telling him like they had cue cards or somebody was yelling at her, say this. And it seemed like every line was recorded one cut at a time, because it's just oh no, what are we gonna do? But then it was that was how long their lines felt. I don't know.
Yeah.
Again, I kind of zoned out on some of this. This is a really hard watch. Thank you.
No, it's okay. I watched it for the first time a couple of weeks ago. I've never seen it before.
Yeah, me neither.
And when I watched it on 0.75 1.75 speed, and it was still slow. They're speaking. They talk so fucking slow in this movie. But going back to what you were saying with the short lines, I think the longest section of dialogue was when Michael was threatening Joshua, he's gonna beat his ass because Joshua doesn't want to eat food, the kid, because he's terrified after what Grandpa Seth told him about the goblins. That was like the longest part of dialogue.
Yeah. Now that was the boyfriend. Like so there was Josh was the little boy. Michael, but then Josh, his sister was Holly. Okay. The mom was Diana. There was, of course, Grandpa Seth.
Right.
Who was the dad?
Michael Waits is the dad.
Okay,
and
so
then
it's the dad.
The boyfriend is Elliot.
Elliot. It just hit me. Okay. So then we kind of have some of the names, because I know we didn't go too deep into our cast like we usually do. But that way, if we're referring to names, people know. So there's a mom, a dad, the grandpa, huh?
Yeah. Because
mom, dad, grandpa, parents.
Mm-hmm.
And like the boyfriend, and then like the boyfriend's random friends, and of course the not trolls but goblins, which is another conversation.
Right. So first of all,
so the longest line you were saying was Michael. He was the only one that had long line.
Yeah. Okay. And so that was like the longest piece of dialogue. But going back to that, it doesn't make sense. So Joshua is scared, right? He's like, what are you going to do to me, Daddy? And then Dad says, tightening my belt by one loop so I don't feel hunger pains. And your sister and mother will have to do likewise. Okay, Joshua, you want to get rough with me? You want to show me that you don't like the choice of this house for our vacation by going on a hunger strike? Well, I'll accept the challenge. But just remember, when I was your age, I really did suffer from hunger. We'll see who gets through this. But just remember, I've got more practice than you. I'll see you tomorrow.
Oh my God, I forgot about that whole scene when they get to the house and they're all pissed, right? Yeah, because so the family gets like, they do a vacation swap, like, right?
Yeah,
a house swap. So they go to the country and they're from the city, I guess, right? And they go to like this isolated house. And in Nilbog, am I saying it right? Nilbog, goblin backwards.
Yeah, Nilbog.
Okay. And then when they get there, the son's all like, this place is whack. Like, I mean, he doesn't say that. They didn't say whack back then. People, literally, I'm just ad-libbing this shit. But yeah, that's right. The dad, I forgot he made that mention about the belt. But that's probably the longest line. I mean, I think the bad lady, who is the head of the goblins, had maybe some longer lines.
The one with the teeth?
I thought she was a stage actress. She was selling it with her mannerisms.
She really was.
What was
she
her
was
name?
in community theater.
Credence Lenore, was that her?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Credence Lenore. Okay. Yeah, she was trying to do like the whole Bride of Frankenstein vibe. But she looked a hot mess and her teeth were scary. But anyway, they also loved green food in this movie. Like everything had like some green drizzle drip. And then Credence brings them a cake. She's like, welcome to Nilbog. And it's like a cake with welcome written on it.
Literally like a birthday cake.
With janky fucking icing. She's like, welcome to Nilbog.
What was people with a cake like that? Maybe a pie or a nice home baked good. I've never.
Well, at first, when I first watched it, I'm like, why are you giving them a cake? They're here on vacation. And then when I rewatched it, I missed when the mom was like, well, we're going away for 1 month. You're going on vacation for a month? To where, ma'am? Nilbog?
Yeah, I ain't going there.
Not even overseas. Like I could understand you go overseas, sure. You take a long vacation because it takes forever to get there. But they literally were in the car for an hour, and they're like, "We're staying for a month." Okay.
Yeah, I'm going with Chevy. I'd rather go with Chevy Chase and the family vacation than Wally World.
Me too, girl. Me too. Yeah. So. That was insane. So can we talk about the most famous line from this is when, what's his name? I don't even remember his name. Arnold.
It's one of Elliot's friends. I just called them the teenage frat boys, for lack of a better term for them. The guys.
So we Elliot, have Arnold. Okay. Elliot's friend Arnold. Who looks like a poor man's Rick Moranis. So sorry, Rick Moranis. But anyway, so he's like walking around, finds this girl in the woods. she's like, oh my God, help me, right? The goblins come, which they're hilarious looking. That looks like some 1970s fucking Halloween costume.
I thought the ghoulies were creepy. Oh my God, I have a story about the ghoulies. Anyway.
Oh, yeah. No, it's okay. So Arnold's like trying to reason with the goblins, and then he goes back to the girl. They fucking chuck a like, it looks like a stick, but then when it lands into Arnold, it's like a whole pole.
Yeah.
What? Like a javelin stick? And he's like, oh my God. So is that just like bad acting, or do you consider that a cinematic masterpiece?
This movie doesn't have a lot of cinematic masterpiece-ness to it, and I know that's not a word, but that scene is pretty funny. Did you hear about the background on what happened in that scene though?
Tell me.
I read that part of it was that like there was like a fly on his face. And he was just like he was more overwhelmed, being like overstimulated from like the fly and everything, that like he didn't need to say, oh my God. And that was just one of the takes that they went with. So it wasn't actually in the script.
And that has become the most
cool.
Yeah, that's become the most famous line. And like people who love this movie, they're obsessed with that. So I think like, I don't know. I think now that I know that it was translated from Italian to English without any edits, I think it's a little more charming now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like they were really trying. I read that when this movie was written, it's because he was pissed off that his wife became vegetarian and wouldn't allow meat in the house anymore. So this was like his movie to be like, I'm pissed off at you.
The writer, huh? That's why
the writer.
That's why he was such a like, because it's like it has both sides of the argument. There's vegetarianism, but then at the end, the family's like, "We're gonna eat our bologna." Like Josh is like, "Oh, a bologna sandwich."
Bologna sandwich. I know.
And the head goblin's like, "Think of the toxins." It's like they got the last laugh. Yeah. I'm talking about that green goose still though. Like
yes,
there was cottage cheese looking stuff. There was icing looking stuff. Like
yeah.
I don't know. I just had to mention, like, guys, if you have an aversion to green food, like, don't watch this.
Don't watch it. There's a lot of green. Yeah. There's a lot of green. No.
Just mentioned that the green food is kind of gross. Look, it's kind of it's stomach turning looking. Some of it, along with like the cottage cheese looking one, and along with the goblins look.
Also, when you go there, you can't get coffee, you can't get soda, juice, but you can get free milk. What? Free milk? I don't know.
Some odd stuff going on.
And it was curdled. It was so bad. Can I also, I know we're jumping all over.
No, yeah, we do that a lot, but we're really doing that today.
We're really doing that today. So sorry, everyone. In the car, when Joshua wakes up from like his sleep paralysis nightmare, and Diana, the mom, is like, why don't you sing that song I like so much? And dude is like, row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. That's her favorite song.
I don't remember the car. Oh my God. That's terrible. I can't remember. Oh, why would that be somebody's favorite song? You'd be like, oh, it's the Beatles or the Doors. Like you would be, or Nirvana or Tupac. Like you'd be naming a certain artist. Like, nah, just gonna like. Am I supposed to say my favorite song is "Happy Birthday" here or "Jingle Bells"?
It was so random. She's like, sing that song I love so much, Joshua, with her fucking beady eyes. Yeah, could you imagine?
That's why I keep doing that.
Right? It'd be like if I asked my kids, sing my favorite song. Like they're gonna bust out with like Jingle Bells. I don't know. It's so
the London Bridges.
Right? It was so fucking weird. That made me laugh so hard. Another epic scene was the popcorn.
Gosh.
Need I say more?
Like, okay, I didn't know when we were watching this film that it was going to turn into like some softcore. I can't finish. Right? You guys, the listeners know I was going to softcore pee, and I'll leave it at that because we could get in trouble for saying that word on certain streamers and places that we publish our podcast. So we can read between the lines. But yeah, what was up with that? It was like seduction by core. Like, I don't keep it. Like Chewie got it. And It's all over. What did you think of that scene?
The girl comes to like the boys' trailer because the boys follow the family. Elliot
Yeah,
and his friends follow
the
the
boyfriend
family.
and the friends follow the family in an RV that they somehow got, right?
Right.
Okay.
So, like, how do these 17-year-olds get an RV? That I don't know. Maybe it was his parents. But
Yeah.
anyway, they follow them, and like this random lady comes to the RV with a husk of corn,
Your whole corn cob, yeah, yeah.
a corn cob, right? And then next thing you know, they're like getting down and dirty, and there's just popcorn popping.
Probably like it was popping. That they gotta pop it. They got it to pop in. Oh my god, that makes me think of a story.
Oh, do tell.
Okay. Okay.
Please
Let me see
tell.
if I can say details. Okay. So I live in SoCal, and there's one time my mom and my aunt are driving home from somewhere, and they're driving through the San Fernando Valley, which is my mom mentioned something which is true. She's like, "Oh, sis, did you know that the San Fernando Valley?" And this is true. Like anybody lives in California, we know about this. Did you know San Fernando Valley is known for where they make the most pee?
Uh-huh.
I can't say
Oh,
that word again. And she's like, "Oh, really?" And she's like, "Yeah, apparently this is where they film the most of it." And she's like, "Oh, okay." And she says that whatever, my mom's driving, and she says like, she keeps looking and she sees that her sister, my aunt, keeps looking out the window, and she's like looking, and she's like, "What are you looking at, sis?" She goes, "Well, I'm looking for all the corn." She's like, "Corn?" She's like, "I didn't say corn, I said the other word." She's like, and they're loving, but like they make, like any family, you make fun of each other. She's like,
right.
"Bend down, clean out your ears." She's like telling her in Spanish, "Clean out your ears, not corn, pee, pee." So like when I saw that scene, I was like, "Oh my god!"
It like clicked in your head.
I was like, is that their way of saying that like this scene is supposed to be that kind of scene, but it's corn? Like,
Oh my
is that like how
God.
Goblin, like how Nilbog is Goblin spelled backwards? I'm all, oh, like we need
Oh.
to switch out the
So
letter, but I'm like, it's not actually that kind of scene. It's like a really terrible one. Like, there's no nudity, guys. There's
right,
no.
yeah,
It's just
there's
all
no.
insinuated silly. It's like super. It's like super silly. But it's just
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
what does this scene have to do with the movie?
I
Did
know,
you
and
know what
that's
it had
why
to do with it?
no, because I read like when Claudio wrote this film, he was very serious about it being a horror film. Like this is not meant to be funny, but it's
Oh,
hilarious. It
because
is
there's like
hilarious.
it's got horror comedy vibes, and I know that happens sometimes
Yeah.
where some films make movies and they want it to be a horror comedy, and then there's some where they make it and they're like, "Oh shit, it turned out to be comedic," and they just kind of like embrace it and go with it. I heard he
Yeah,
was
yeah.
actually like still mad, like to this,
Yes.
like when people would interview him, he's like, "No, it was like a genuine horror movie." It's like, dude, just
Yeah.
accept like it's getting a bigger following, known as like a bad comedy horror film than
Yeah,
it is
yeah,
as like
yeah.
a true horror film.
Claudio was pissed because he took this very seriously, and but yeah, I that's why I was like, is this supposed to be like satirical, like corn, ha ha ha, corn, yay, and
Yeah.
it's like supposed to be a naughty scene, but no, no, that was hilarious.
Yeah.
Another scene, I don't know if you saw it because it was really quick, is like the family is in their 1985 Astro minivan
I
going
love
down
that
the
you know the
road.
year.
I'm making it up. I don't fucking
Okay,
really.
okay, she's winging it here.
But
We know
I'm
it's an
winging it.
Astro band of some sort though.
Yes, yes. And the 80s. It has to be. But anyway, so they're going down the road and they see the RV, and the boys are like, "Holly, Holly." And then she gives them the finger, but then when they do the distance, they're really far apart. Like how do they see Holly giving them the finger? Because Elliot's like, "She just flipped me off." How did you see that? How?
No, I don't think I caught that was a big distance. Bad filmmaking.
They were literally like a mile up away.
Didn't they leave first or something? I was so confused on the timeline
I
too. Didn't the
know.
guys leave first, and then how did they end up? I don't know. I'm not gonna look into it. It's movie magic.
I don't know either. Yeah, it was like poof, there we are. Yay. Yeah, this movie was so fucking wild. So anyway, the goblins, they're doing their goblin thing. And then the family eventually escapes, right? But before that, there's a very interesting scene where Holly is so mad at Elliot for being with his friends that she like practices her speech in the mirror. Is that before or after the Grandpa Seth sighting in the mirror?
I don't remember.
I don't remember. I don't fucking know.
The only thing I can remember about Holly is she is jacked up. Like,
oh, dude.
Like, right when we meet her, right, she's like pumping iron, and I'm like, fuck, I wish I could work out.
Right.
Like, this girl is going to town. Like, kudos to her. She's not doing like, you know, this is like, you know, I mean, this is 1990, so I'm sure it's released in 1990s. So this is like extra 80s culture, right? Because it's filmed in the 80s. This is like peak aerobics culture, you know. I'm like, but she's not doing aerobics. She's straight like, I don't even know the right. Is that bench pressing? I don't know. I'm not a workout fiend. I'm not a gym rat to know. I'm like,
me neither.
Yeah, she's like lifted weights, and I'm like, dang, like that was all I could think about her. Like when I think about Holly, I just keep thinking about her working out. And I'm like, dang, she's getting yoked, and I'm like, I can't wait. I kept thinking like she's gonna fuck somebody up. Like who is she gonna get? Like is she never really used her skills? I was like, maybe she's just a frustrated teen. I don't know. I have not. Hey, work it out, girl. Do your thing.
Going back to the bench press, like I know I'm sorry. Going back to the bench press, Elliot sneaks into her room and she's like, oh my God, you scared me. And like Elliot says, I'm the victim of a nocturnal rapture. I have to release my lowest instincts with a woman. And she punches her boyfriend in the groin. And she's like, release your instincts in the bathroom. And he goes, are you nuts? Are you trying to turn me into a slur? I'm not going to say it. It's very offensive.
Yeah, it is.
And then she goes, wouldn't be too hard. I'm like, oh my God, that did not age well. That is bad.
Yeah. There's like a lot of movies we watch. Unfortunately, there's gonna be some language in there that. But I mean, I don't imagine her because I mean, I took it like he's trying to get frisky. She was like, no, homie, it's not happening.
Right.
I mean, we cover lots of movies with young guys being way too pressuring with their girlfriends, so she wasn't taking it. I mean, I wouldn't have tried to do that on her anyway. I'm like, dude, she could probably mess you up.
Hell yeah, with her bench
she was buffer than him. Yeah,
she was totally benching probably 25 pounds.
I don't know.
Which I couldn't even do 5. I
could barely do the pole straight. I'd be like, it'd be all tippy.
I know. and I have been working out just this week though.
That's more than me. I've just been working my mouth here and the podcast. That's it. Yeah, the manjas here.
So anyway, we go back to the house, right? Anyway, oh, you know what we forgot to mention about the house? Why are their names written with like computer paper and marker, and their names are plastered on the door? They're like, Joshua, Mr. and Mrs. Waits. That was so random. But anyway, so Holly does like this seductive dance in the mirror, right?
Yeah, that's right. She did. Yeah.
She's wearing Garfield pajamas that say Aries. Aries, the sign.
I mean, people were that was when like horoscopes got really popular. Like the 70s, it started popping off. In the 80s, it was everywhere. So yeah, I mean, people are still now they're into other stuff, and I don't even understand retrograde and all that. I'm like, dude, I just know Pisces.
Right. But I just thought it was. I didn't realize Garfield was associated with horoscopes. Is all. But anyway,
I thought he was only associated with like lasagna
and being like, a
trying to mail Odie away to Abu Dhabi. And my students, I was like, Abu Dhabi is a real place, by the way.
Right. So anyway, she's so pissed off, and then in the mirror, she says, "Dear Elliot Cooper, tomorrow morning will be your final chance. The beautiful Holly waits." I mean, good for her for that confidence. Or your little boys. Make a choice, Elliot. So she's really pissed off at her boyfriend for having friends. Yeah. Was that strange?
I didn't understand. I guess I didn't understand Holly's. I didn't understand Holly at all. I didn't understand her scenes. I mean, the boyfriend and the friends were almost all unnecessary too. They just needed to fill time. I mean, we could have just had the boyfriend at most. I don't know. Other than we needed some shenanigan scenes, some silly scenes with the guy finding the girl at the beginning with the popcorn. It was under that. I was like, I know this was not comedy, but for me, they were there for comedic elements.
I was dying. And like, they have like this the goblins have like this town hall meeting, and they're like talking about like underwear scents. I'm like, what are you saying?
Yeah. I was like, I don't know what is going on here.
What is happening here? Like, this is so freaking strange. But yeah, this movie, wow.
We haven't even addressed the biggest scene. This movie,
yes,
is called Troll 2. Okay, there's no trolls in it.
No,
they're goblins. People are probably confused. If you've never watched this movie, they're like, why do they keep coming out talking about goblins? Or why do they keep saying the town of Nilbog, which is spelled goblin backwards?
Right.
Spoiler, there's no freaking trolls.
No.
And then that sent me down a rabbit hole because I was like, what's the difference between a goblin and a troll? Then I couldn't find a good answer. Then it brought up hobgoblins and orcs, and I was like, oh god, this is too much research for this episode. Sorry. But didn't you said you found out, didn't you find out something different, interesting about Troll 1?
Yeah, it doesn't fucking exist.
I was looking it up and people said, well, it existed, but it wasn't technically, this isn't technically a sequel to that movie, but the guy was like, Troll is a popular thing. So like, I think he was trying to claim this was like a sequel to that movie, but it's not technically a sequel to Troll. No, there is a Troll movie, and we don't need the modern Troll movie, the cute animated, which I've never watched. The cute little animated one with the treasure troll, crazy hair, like the little dolls that are popular in the 90s. Trolls in this. Why did they put goblins?
Not a one. No trolls. It's not a sequel. It is the most bizarre fucking movie I've ever watched. And yeah, in 2009, there was a documentary made about this movie with the lead actor who played Joshua. Now, Joshua is the only one who is a real actor, that kid. So they like did a whole documentary about why this movie was so bad.
Okay.
Could you imagine? So Joshua is like, well, it was so much fun. I was a kid. What do I know? He explains about like the language barrier and stuff like that. He just thought it was a fun experience because I think he was like 9 at most. So then Claudio finds out about this. He gets super pissed off. Like still to this day, Claudio is pissed. Yeah. And then it resurrected this like whole new cult following of Troll 2, and it wasn't played in theaters the first time, but then it ended up going to theaters after this documentary because everybody was like, oh my god, it's amazing.
So hey, the documentary helped.
Exactly. So Claudio should actually like be excited about that, but no.
Yeah, and just embrace what it is. Like,
yeah,
you know what? If you can't beat them, join them.
Right.
I mean, I am a fan of terrible movies. I mean, when we talked about John Waters, the director of Serial Mom, our previous episode, how he's like, what do he call himself, the king of trash or something of that nature? Like, I watch trash movies. The Duke of Dirt, the Pope of Trash. Yeah.
I mean,
if listeners or regular listeners know, Paul loves trash movies. He loves mashup movies. He loves, like, our favorite is Bad CGI Gator. And we watch some terrible movies. I mean, I've watched Evil Bong. I've watched Ginger Dead Man. Oh, damn, I'm going to get in trouble. These are all Full Moon. the company Full Moon, who I like love and hate some of their stuff. Well, not love and hate. I love some of their stuff. Like, I love Tourist Trap, but there's some I'm just like, I can't watch any more Evil Dead or Evil Bong. There's like 5 Evil Bongs and stuff. And I'm like, I couldn't even get to the bird. But those films embrace that they're bad movies.
Yes.
Then run with it. Full Moon Features, which shout out to Full Moon Features again. They have some great stuff and some bad, terrible stuff. He just needs to embrace it because he will get him more fans.
And that was the problem with Claudio. Like, he's so fucking stubborn. Like, I'm talking like I know him. I don't know him at all.
Our bud, you know.
But like, and he had other movies too that did pretty well. He had Rats, Night of Terror, Zombie 3, and a movie called After Death that came out before Troll 2. So people were really excited, like thinking this was going to be amazing. And it was a flop. And instead of embracing it and be like, you know what? Yeah, this was very campy or whatever. He was just so offended. So I know. And like, at least like John Waters, he's like, yeah, I know. I'm a fucking asshole. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, yeah, Claudio would not go down that route, unfortunately.
So wait, he made a Zombie 3, but was there a Zombie 1 and 2? Or did he try to pull the same move?
It doesn't look like it, girl. And it's not even spelled correctly. It's Zombi, which I don't know if that's like supposed to be like an
intentional
Italian.
artsy thing, or
Yeah.
could it be? Because
Yeah.
in Italian, I'm not an expert. Like something with syllable. Never mind. I'm not
Yeah.
going to speak on a language I do not know. Like I said, I speak Spanish a little bit. I mean, I could speak it a little bit in my understanding, but Italian, I mean, there's a lot of similarities. Never mind.
Yeah. I know, like in Italian, like if it has an E at the end, it's also plural. So I think I is also plural. So it might actually be zombies too. So my bad.
Got you. Okay.
My bad. So yeah.
Yeah, this movie, I don't know.
This movie is so fucking wild.
Over this movie.
I know. Poor Paul's gonna be like, edit.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
So anyway, people were also trying to like analyze the movie. Like, was this supposed to be real life or Joshua's hallucination or Joshua's bad dream? And how would you like? What would you think about it if it was just his bad dream? Do you think it would like make it better? I don't know. I was thinking about that earlier.
I think it would, because like none of it makes sense, and it's kind of like, I mean, that happens now even as an adult. Sometimes you have dreams and you wake up and you're like, well, like you can never fully remember what your dream was about. So maybe that would make sense. And then we haven't even talked about the ending, which I think goes with that, but I want to hear your thoughts. Like, what do you think about if it was, would it have worked better as a dream or not?
I think it would have worked better as a dream, but I don't know by much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it would have been a pretty cool concept. And we've seen movies like that where it's like, you know, like when we did Krampus, it was like, oh, were they actually in the snow globe, or was it, you know, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, this ambiguous, you can interpret it in like there was no technical right or wrong. They all could have worked.
Right. But this ending did not have that. Would you like to discuss the ending about Mom?
Yes.
Mom.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so they defeat the goblins, right? Josh eats, right, what we said earlier, he eats the bologna sandwich in front of them. Oh God, I have to have a conversation about Stonehenge too. They touched the Stonehenge wall.
They love Stonehenge.
Yeah, they touched the Stonehenge wall. And she talks about bringing goodness. And that was the thing. I'm like, wait, is this about, like, you're supposed to be nice to people? Was this kids? But they keep mentioning goodness, right? Something about, we got to bring the goodness. And then they survive. They go home after they're attacked by all these weird goblins, but then they survive. I can't even remember perfect how exactly it is. And they get there and you think the movie's over, happy ending, they're home, they're safe. And then the mom dies. Like, she gets eaten by a goblin. I'm like, well, what's the point of them going to Nilbog? And goblins could just go anywhere. I'm like, what was the point of luring them to this house to eat them, to try to turn them into stuff and eat them, when you could have just showed up at their house? I'm like, how did the goblin get there? Like, did he hitch a ride? Like, and why don't I'm so lost. Did you understand the ending?
I did not understand. I did not understand. And like the goblins are tearing into Mom. There's just green shit everywhere. And then they're like, Joshua, you want some?
You want some, Joshua? And I was like, yeah, those guys are creepy. Like I said, I watched Ghoulies, not Goonies. Right. When I was little, I remember telling my grandma one time, Mom, Grandma, put Goonies on. I don't want to watch that silly Ghoulies. And I'm like, Grandma, different movie. Even though I like the Ghoulies, I'm like, no, Grandma. I know you wouldn't want to watch Ghoulies. Ghoulies. But those creepy, those gross, you know, goblin-looking things that come out of the toilet, like, these are grosser. Like, I don't know, they were
terrible. They were terrible. And like, it reminded me of the awful masks from Halloween 3 when we covered that, the awful Halloween costume.
We're going to have a Halloween 3 conversation, because they reminded me of them. Whenever you're ready, I'm going to talk about that. I don't want to cut you off. I'm sorry. You just made me think of some stuff.
But I think they came to the house because Joshua had the double-decker bologna sandwich. Credence was pissed. Credence was like, think about the cholesterol, Joshua. Think about the toxins. So they were like, oh, shit. This mom feeds this kid awful food. She must die. That was my very
somebody to leave Nilbog? But are they always allowed to leave Nilbog?
I don't know. And then I started thinking, would would we survive Nilbog? I don't know if I would. The way that I'm built, I don't think so.
No, I would not have survived. I'd have been like, I'm done. I would have been donezo from the get-go. When my grandpa started showing up in the mirror, I'd have been like, that's it. I'm losing my brains. Like, I've said it before on podcasts, even though I'm a creepy, like I like creepy, I'm into creepy stuff. Like, yeah, I've never had a paranormal experience, so I'm not going to invite it in. But the day I have one, I'm probably going to pass out. So I wouldn't have taken me to Nilbog. I would have been in the hospital. Like, yo, she passed out. Wow. I'll see Grandpa in the mirror.
I saw Grandpa in the mirror. Oh.
Grandpa's telling me weird stuff. And everybody hates Grandpa, so they're donezo. Yeah. I would not have survived Nilbog. Like, then even if there was no Grandpa, I'd have seen those things, or I'd have seen Credence Lenore, the head goblin. I'd have lost my shit. No, I'm done.
When I saw her, I was like, that is my new sleep paralysis nightmare. Like, she was more terrifying to me than the goblins.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the real question is, do we think Grandpa Seth ever came back to talk with Joshua after his mother was eaten? Or do you think Grandpa Seth was like sent to damnation and he was like, you are in the 7th layer of hell, or whatever it is? Like, he's just sent away. Like, fuck you, Grandpa.
Oh my God. I hadn't even thought, you know what? I didn't even, at that point, I didn't even think about Grandpa. Like, what was, like,
where was he?
What was his, was that his demise? Like, he job done? I saved her from the goblins, except I didn't save my dog. Maybe he let them get in because of all that hating about they were hating on Grandpa.
Well, he should have had that dad eaten too, because that dad was really
talking
creepy.
About using the belt. I just feel like sometimes the ending, they were just trying to like copy like Friday the 13th. The end, you get Jason out of the boat, or like Nightmare on Elm Street, the terrible, like when the mom gets grabbed with the terrible, she's like, oh man. I was like, they just trying to capitalize like on that kind of, but it really wasn't a jump scare, but it was like an indie where it's like, we didn't need that.
No, and I
should have been more jump scary if they were gonna. I felt like they were trying to copy something like that.
Yeah,
but they didn't think through like this doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Claudio was just so serious about this that I wouldn't put it past him.
Why didn't they just eat her at the house at Nilbog?
I thought about that too, but I really do think it's like the revenge of Joshua eating the double-decker bologna sandwich. That's the only plausible thing that makes sense.
You fucking got me. I know with it. I think you're right.
And that's on Troll 2, folks.
Yeah. But before we close up, I'm going to apologize to you, Kristen.
Oh,
because
no, why?
This reminds me of when I made you watch Halloween 3 and you'd never seen it, because shout out to our listener for making us watch it, because I'd never seen it. And I'm like, oh crap. And I remember after you were like, wow, thanks. I mean, you weren't learning that.
No,
you were just
I had fun with that. Like, I
had fun with this too. Don't get me wrong. Yeah.
Right. But yeah.
But there's a lot of similarities too. Like, okay, Halloween 3 was called Halloween 3 Season of the Witches. There's no fucking
Not
witches.
A witch. Yeah.
Not a witch to be seen. Witch. Okay. They are also into Stonehenge.
Yeah.
This was into Stonehenge. You brought up the terrible. These goblins had terrible masks, even though they were scary looking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was just terrible, but bad. I don't know which movie was more terrible out of the two. I think this one. I think Troll's more terrible. I have a soft spot for Halloween 3. That's why I made you watch it.
I think they're both pretty shitty. It's just like one is here and one is here. You know what I mean? So Troll is here and Halloween 3 is here. But if you watch it and you want to make fun of it, it's beautiful. Like, it is so funny. This movie and Halloween 3 like it's just like what the fuck is happening? Yeah. And then you're good.
You watch it when you like to if you're somebody you like to smoke. I don't do you have your smoke? If you like to have a couple drinks, have a couple drinks, like, and buy whatever your little jam is, because if you miss a few things, there's no storyline that you're gonna be super sad about missing, other than some laughs.
Right. And don't forget, Holly quit smoking weed. She told her dad that. I was like, what?
Oh, I forgot about that. That's right. When she got in trouble at the beginning, right? What did she get in trouble for? I totally forgot about that.
Because of Elliot. Because of Elliot being there.
That's right. But then she did, yeah. And she's like, quit smoking weed. So this movie's anti-drugs and anti-weed. See, it's got a good message.
See, yeah,
they don't want to say no to drugs.
Just say no to bologna sandwiches and
bologna. I would anyway, even though I'm not a vegetarian. I say no to bologna sandwiches.
I know. I was thinking about that. I'm like, when's the last time that I had bologna? I'm like, maybe 1995. I don't know.
Yeah.
Long time. But yeah, this was a journey.
Yeah. Yeah. We had a fun one with it, listener. Thank you.
Thank you, listener.
That we're keeping anonymous, but this listener knows who they are.
And I love you very much still. No, I do. Yeah, this was so funny. I really enjoyed watching this because the whole time I laughed. I genuinely laughed. Just like with Halloween 3. Laugh, laugh, laugh. Ha ha ha.
Yeah,
so funny.
Yeah. Ridiculousness all around.
Good times. Good times.
Yeah. Well, we're getting close to the end here, but before we close it up, hey, if you've been enjoying our content, go leave us a 5-star review if you think we've earned it. Drop us a few lines.
No.
If you want to buy us a coffee or a beer, you want to drop a couple of dollars to help support the pod. We also have the Buy Me a Coffee feature now. That's linked in the episode notes and our social media, which we're at Dreadful Dialogue Podcast on Instagram. You can also find the link on our website, dreadfuldialogue.com. But yes, please.
Leave us
those reviews. If you can't leave us dollars, we'll definitely take those reviews. 5 stars. It really helps get the word out about the pod, you know?
Yeah. We appreciate it so much.
Yeah. Well, we hope our dialogue wasn't too dreadful for you. We can't even get through the final one without laughing. We hope it wasn't too dreadful for you. And have a good one and keep it dreadful.
Bye. Stay away from green goo, okay? And bologna sandwiches.